Good afternoon, welcome back, it's Matt Rogers. It's now 4:44 PM Tuesday, 20th of the 6th, 2017. And also those chems were spraying early hours of the morning, right through to up to now, today. And I went out about 1 AM in the morning, went over to the field to see if I could pick up any other objects that are moving on the horizon down at northeast. But they are chemtrailing heavy at that area still. Still very much red skies and a red haze. But I didn't catch anything, but spending 6 hours looking up. It's just that, again, we've got to be persistent with this, haven't we? So, we are seeing a red sunset, very, very red, here in the UK. Last night was very spectacular to see that. And also, we just got to wake many more of the public up that those military jets are being spraying our skies with them poisons. Chemical exposure is a serious health risk to us. So, wear a hospital mask or limit your direct exposure outdoors. Each dose can be compulsive, so be aware, because it's very dangerous, those toxins they're spraying, and it's harming everything right now. So it's something that we can't ignore, isn't it? You know, so I'm going to dedicate this video to subscribers, because we're having a lot of images coming in, and there's some fantastic shots, photos of the skies around the world. So please enjoy the footage, and I will get back to you shortly. Here's a fantastic image from a subscriber from Germany, a Mike Carmelini. I mean, you can see the strange formations in them clouds and also them chemtrails, and there's something lighting up the sky, the opposite side, before sunrise. And this image was taken at 5:30 AM. I mean, you can see that dark cloud that we always talk about, that it moves and then stops, and it doesn't move for hours, it just stays there as the other cloud formations move across the sky. So, I mean, I'll show you another image from this kind subscriber, Mike. Here's the other image that was taken only recently this morning and sent to me. I mean, you can tell that those clouds are from HARP. These are HARP operated clouds by they using that machine, that technology that they've been using for years. It causes problems to us as well, this machine, all these radio frequencies and things. It obviously does no good to us, humanity, doesn't. I mean, they're using it all the time and they're not saying anything to the public, getting away with it behind our backs, aren't they? Just to cover up our skies so we don't get to see the truth of what's out there. So Mike, that is a fantastic image, thank you. This image also may look normal to the members of the public around the world, but it isn't. It is full of toxins. We don't breathe fresh air anymore. We're breathing in all sorts of poisons, and they're putting new poisons up there as well. I had an email this morning stating of other different poisons that are being spread out there in the atmosphere. They're just advancing it all the time, changing their technique as well, their patterns in the skies. So Mike, I mean, this is great when you're sending these in. It's just fantastic that we're getting the information out there around the world. Germany is being hammered every day. Here is yet another image from Mike. I mean, look at this. These chems and these toxins up in the sky. I'm going to go to another image now. Here again are just simply strange, crazy skies where you've got those cloud-ins and also there's chems way up thousands of feet high, and all them particles that land down on our Earth. This is another image. Now, this image was taken off one of my channel images, okay, off the Mexico cams. And Leslie Baker has sent this in, okay, just to remind everybody that this object is real. You can just see that reflection on the sea, and you can see this heavenly body that comes up, this big Nibiru, this object, and this red haze, this orangey red haze that we see. Look on the, it's a complete different colour from our sun. I mean, you can see the blue, the blue reflections and everything on this image. So again, Leslie, thank you for reminding us about these images, because it's so important that we get these messages out there, because that is one stunning image. And these kind subscribers, all of you following the channel, and we're just seeing the evidence now, aren't we? This is another image from Mike Carmelini, and you can see that red haze before sunrise. Now this haze disappears, it goes downwards as the sun's rising. This disappears downwards, and this is a reflection from Nibiru. Now these red reflections are every single day in the mornings now, and the military spray the sky so we can't see it. Like early this morning, it was completely sprayed down at the horizon, and you can hear, as I said before, and I've said this a million times, you can hear those military jets up there performing their task by spraying heavy polluted toxins. We also have here another great picture from Ron. Now Ron sends images in, and we've seen these in the previous videos, but this one is a new image of an object that's northeast out there in space. He uses a Nikon digital camcorder, and he's picking some excellent images up. You can see this on the screen. This must be a long way away, but there's an object, isn't there, heavenly body that's out there, and you can see that. You can see that heavenly body on the image there. This is another image brought in by Ron. Now, those celestial bodies can be seen now, can't they? Okay, now when it's heavily chemtrailed, because they do chemtrail at night, they chemtrail across the moon. We have seen this. Now it's so evident, isn't it? And there is other bodies travelling with the system, and people are picking it up, and Ron is seeing this. You can see this on the screen here. 12:10 at midnight, just early hours of the morning. You can see that that object is there, isn't it? Let's show you another image of this. Here it is as well, that's zoomed in. This object. I mean, look at it. It's a celestial body, isn't it? It's got two markings on it as well. Here. I mean, it's just coming to a point now that things are showing up all the time now, aren't they? And again, it's zoomed right in. I mean, Ron, that is totally amazing. And we can see that, can't we? This isn't anything to do with our planetary system. This is part of the incoming system. I mean, it's not supposed to be there. As well, again, northeast of the night sky. So we're seeing all these objects, and it's so important to get your mobile phones out, your camcorders, cameras, and keep focusing on them stars at night, and in the evening sky as well. Keep an eye on the sunrise and sundown. Same object that's zoomed out. You can see this very clearly, can't you? So again, Ron, thank you for all your fantastic effort and time to produce these images. And let's go on to some other fantastic subscribers' images. These next images are brought in by a good friend, Charisse Nelson, and she has an excellent channel, and I urge people to go to her channel and look at her work, because she does some fantastic work. And she's showing the proof as well that she's always looking at those skies and seeing the differences all the time. And you can see clearly on this image the halo and this strange reflection here, and these burnt chemtrails in the night sky. I mean, look at this. So in the evening sky you can see that the sun has changed colour. I mean, and the grey haze of the blue sky now, it's all turned grey, isn't it now? So Charisse, this is an excellent image. I'll show you another one. Here is the other image as well. I mean, it's so clear, isn't it? I mean, you still see that chemtrails. Just the natural clouds are not looking after us anymore. I mean, they're not protecting the earth, and they're not protecting down below the animals, the tree life, the plant life, the human beings. Everything is being unprotected now, as this our sun is burning twice as much because of these solar flares that are attacking our Earth's magnetic field. With the binary twin, the brown dwarf star is reflecting now. We see this on the horizons. I'm going to show you another image. You can also see what Charisse has done on this image. She's enhanced it, okay? And again, what she's trying to get people to focus on is this object that's down here. Now look at the colour of it. It's the same colour as what I saw last Saturday. It's the same colour as what we see on the horizons. This red, strange colouring in the skies. And look on the chem cloud as well. It's the same colour reflecting. We're seeing all this. I mean, over here, as we full well know, is lens flare. But I mean, every single day is getting much stranger. We see these rainbow effects on the clouds as well as the sun is behind there. Okay, that's out in the solar system, but it's reflecting on the it's causing all these strange colours on the clouds, because when the moon eclipses the sun, we still get them rainbow effect colours on the clouds, because we've got the heavenly body, the moon, in front of the sun. So now every single day when you see that clouds in front of the sun, there's that same reflection, the same rainbow effect, because we've got Nibiru that's out there reflecting on our skies. So again, Charisse, please keep safe. And what I mean, these pictures are wonderful. Thank you for your time and respect for them as well. Okay, there's more images coming in as well from Mike Carmel. I mean, look at this. I mean, you can see this. Now, this is a very similar picture that we got from another subscriber yesterday. Can you see this? There's an object that's behind those chems, and we see this on the Alaska cams, Mexico cams. I mean, nearly all the cams, we're seeing this object. If you look closely, there's something that's celestial behind them clouds. That's up there. There's chemtrails. They spraying all the time. I mean, give it up, NASA. Give it up, the military, because we're seeing this. There's a heavenly body there, and as I said before, I mean, there's people that send these brilliant images in. They don't know each other, most of them. I mean, they're from different parts of the world, and when the footage comes through, we're seeing the same object, proving that these images are genuine and there is a heavenly body up there. I'm going to go to another image. Okay, this is what Mike sent in as well. I mean, this is the same image, okay, but zoomed out. You can see this here very clearly, can't you? I mean, it's disgraceful really, because again, people over where Mike is, they're just being hammered and they're breathing it all in there as well. So we need to get this stopped, don't we? I'm going to go to another image. Okay, we've got a piece of video footage that came in as well this afternoon of a guy called Dillinger 3077, another fantastic subscriber, and he explains what he sees up there in the heavens and what they're doing in front of the sun. I mean, he knows this system's coming in and it's getting blatantly obvious, and many other more people are waking up to this. So I'm going to play this piece of footage for you now.
Look at, there's like 4 of them right there spraying. See them all back there? Look at what they did to the sky. Look at what they did. There's a big X in the back. See the big X back there? I mean, look at what they did to the sky. Look at that. Not one weatherman or newsman says anything. It's because they're nobody. They're not real. The weathermen are fake, and the news people are fake. And that's why you don't hear about.
So thank you again for all those fantastic images that we're seeing now with them brilliant subscribers that are bringing them in every day. So it's just outstanding, and I will produce the footage and images for all of you, for as many as possible, to show the world that they are now seeing. We're all seeing strange skies. And I want to show you this piece of footage that Mr. John Moore, fantastic man, that gave out the truth, the evidence of what's coming, because he has had information brought in by specialists and the military that gave out the truth, that what's to come, because it is coming now. It is actually going to be, I mean, it's just around the corner now. I mean, we're in 2017 and this was all said in 2008, and all the events that Mr. John Moore said is happening right now. So I'm going to play this piece of footage for you, And respect to you, John Moore, for bringing this video out in the beginning. So let's play the video.
There is a bulge of water at the equator. Now we're talking about sea level here. Sea level is measured at Cornwall, England. It's a couple hundred years ago. England was kind of running things when it came to oceans, and they got to pick where to measure sea level, and they measured it at they got a big rock. There's a line there. That's sea level. It turns out that sea level varies as much as 494 feet up and down from that rock in Cornwall, England. Now that's like a 50-story building. I mean, it's a lot of water. And there's a bulge of literally millions of cubic miles, 1 mile by 1 mile by 1 mile, cubic miles, millions of cubic miles of water bulge at the equator of this planet. It wasn't common knowledge for John Moore, I found out. It's not common knowledge for most people. It's held in place by two things, the rotation of the Earth and gravity. Anything that changes our true north, our pole, by more than just a couple of degrees will cause that water to be disrupted. And there's a technical term for it, slosh. And there's records locked up in bones and stone of this having happened in the past. Velikovsky talked about it extensively in his books. Talk a little bit about this water damage. You have a map in your handout. Now, from Washington, D.C. to Boston is basically one big city. Since World War II, that's what it's become. One big city. All that's going to be gone. Going down the coast to Atlanta and down to Florida. Florida, the highest point in Florida is on the Panhandle, 55 feet above sea level. Florida's finished, except for a small part of the isthmus, maybe. And that's a big maybe. Gulf Coast, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi are pretty much going to be gone. In fact, the new mouth of the Mississippi will be at the current Arkansas-Louisiana state line, a couple hundred miles up from where it is right now. Going down around the coast of Texas, Texas will take damage about 100 miles inland. California will take damage 25 to 100 miles inland, depending on a couple of things, the level of the altitude above sea level and seismic activity. On up the west coast to Oregon and Seattle, all coastal areas being damaged 50 to 100 miles inland. And once again, seismic activity is going to play a big role in what happens. Locally in the Midwest, we have something called the New Madrid seismic zone. Once the Mississippi River becomes 50 to 100 miles wide, the U.S. Navy, not John Moore, the U.S. Navy says it will trigger at least 3 9-point plus earthquakes on the New Madrid seismic zone. Southern Illinois will basically be one large swamp. In fact, southern Illinois is already pretty swampy. If you fly over the Mississippi River right now, you can see where the river used to be. You can see where its banks were at one time. A much, much larger river than it is now. I mentioned Wisconsin will be gone. The Great Lakes will become one vast inland sea joining up with Hudson Bay up in Canada. That's what the Navy says. And it's kind of ironic and kind of caught my attention when all of these Navy veterans, these submarine veterans, they all look at this map and they say, John, Wisconsin's gone. It's finished. There's not going to be any more Wisconsin.
See, again, that was a piece of information from John Moore. He's just right on target, isn't he? I mean, please subscribe to his radio show. It's just fantastic to listen to his presentation on the radio show and his... I mean, it just gets everything just right, doesn't he? I mean, fantastic guy. And also, here on the screen, is the Navy. I mean, they're on it now. They are ready. They're ready for this event that's coming in now. So, all the military are ready now. They have been preparing right under our noses. I mean, again, the news media, weather channels, complete fake. They are just playing with us all the time. We can see those skies have changed. And again, the Navy knows that the sea levels are rising. They check this all the time. They're right on it with the rising ocean levels and also the ice caps and things and what have you. They're out there now, studying it and watching it. They know that the sun is burning twice as much now as well. Also, the army as well, they are ready for this event. They're ready for the new world order. They're just ready with them camps as well. And they know that something is coming our way now. It's too late because they can't, the powers to be in the government can't move or push Nibiru away. It's too big, it's larger, it's 7 times bigger than our planet Earth. It's going to be the world's biggest event of our lives. And these are on the ready. Because civil war will break out. When that power grid goes down across the world, it's going to be civil war. Because people need food, people need shelter. People need to be cared. So martial law will be on the streets. All across the globe. They're just at touching point now. It's ready. It's all at a ready now. As I said before, other parts of the world are on standby with this. All these vehicles carrying all this armour and missiles and technology are all waiting. They're all just waiting for this huge event to occur. It's just absolutely unreal, isn't it? Because, again, public's still being kept in the dark with this. None of these people, government, powers that be, I mean, the Rothschilds as well, they just don't care about no one. I mean, these people on the screen, they just want to save themselves. Not saying a blind word to media. The media will never give out the information about these underground cities. Using these high-tech drilling tools as well, plunging their way through down deep underground, hoping that when the big shift occurs that they will be saved. So it's just all being covered up, isn't it? It's just a big cover-up, isn't it? It's like playtime to them, isn't it? With the news media channels and false flag events. And we really need to focus. As I said, we just got to think out of the box with this. Because they have been drilling since the 1950s and onwards. They've known about this celestial body back in the day as well. They exposed it to the news media in 1983, and then it got quietened off, didn't it? We got to remember the past history of this as well, because we've picked up the snippets of information. We've found the truth, haven't we now? I mean, this image, it clearly shows you how big these tunnels are, and they run for hundreds of miles. And if you look at the steps there in front of those two persons, you can see on the left hand side that they're being sponsored by other organisations, big corporations. And this has to seriously be exposed to the public, because we're getting none of this on the those news media channels. I mean, I turn them on every day and I see that they lie all the time. They don't like the truth to be exposed, and when there is truthers on these news media channels, they talk them down all the time to make them look like idiots. I mean, you can see it's so clear that they're being run by those government officials. It's all part of the agenda now. I mean, in time to come, like on this image, we're going to see this, aren't we, all across the world. We're going to see this when the shift has occurred. I mean, there's going to be a lot of lives lost, and on this channel I just want people to be saved. I want to save lives, because I do this just to show the people that what will occur in our near future. This is what I'm here for, because there's a lot of people that's fully awake to this, and I've made a lot of friends as well, and you're all genuine, fantastic people, and it's great to know that you're all noticing the changes. It's just absolutely here now, isn't it? These changes are starting to occur a lot more now than ever. This is a live Mexico cam, okay, called the Panorama Volcano Scam. And I mean, look at the skies. It's just trash that you're seeing. It's not natural clouding anymore. They're trying to cool down the volcanoes with all this trash. These chems. I mean, so clearly you can see on the screen on the right hand side the volcano that's being cooled down. because of the sun being agitated by the brown dwarf Death Star nemesis. It's just here, isn't it? Say this all the time, but it's here, isn't it now? So evident. So I'm going to go.